What's going on there, YouTube? Welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so it's time for us to go ahead and wrap up Marvel Siege with Siege number 4. We are continuing with our Siege reading order. Now guys, even though this is technically the fourth and final chapter of the Siege main storyline, we also have some books to cover that took place after Siege. We have the aftermath of Siege. And so we have to cover Dark Avengers, we have to cover Thor number 609, we have to cover, I want to say there was something else Siege, but we have a few more books to cover that took place after this book right here. So even though this is the conclusion to the main Siege storyline, we still have a good amount of books to cover after this. And so we are not technically done just yet. But guys, I do have one big question for you guys. What in the world should we cover next? I mean, we covered Siege and we're almost done. We have like 5 more videos, but what should we cover next? And honestly guys, I am going to leave that up to you guys, because we have Ultimate Marvel on Mondays, and I'm thinking about bringing back the reading order of the X-Men. Now, we did a lot of videos where we stopped, but I'm thinking about bringing that back and continuing the lovely X-Men reading order and continue back into more of the X-Men comics. Now, guys, let's go ahead and jump into Marvel Siege number 4. Now guys, in our last video, or not last video, but the last book we covered for the main storyline of Siege was Siege number 3. At the end of that video right there, we saw that the Sentry has just lost complete control. That right now, guys, he has turned into the Void, the ultimate Void. Now guys, the Void is literally a very, very powerful being. I mean, we saw the Void back in the beginning of our videos covering the Siege event and the Siege Cabal, and I want to say also, yeah, Dark Avengers 13, 14, and 15. And so we've seen the Void. We've seen the Void work in different ways, and we've seen every time the Void appears, heroes and villains, they just get scared automatically. They're like, oh crap, the Void is here. The Void is here. There's no longer the Sentry, it is the Void. And so right now, it's the same thing here. The Void is out, and the Void is basically just wiping out our heroes left and right. They're still alive, but they're getting their butt kicked left and right. And guys, this is Brian Michael Bendis saying, this is the Void. This is him, and this is how powerful he is. Now, you do have Loki kind of like, oh crap, I messed up. This was my master plan to get back at Asgard. I did all of this and the Void is out. And so what I'm going to do is take the Nord stones and give them to the Avengers to give them a fighting edge against the Void. And so you have Loki exactly do that. He gets the Nord stones and say, listen, you know, Captain America, the Young Avengers, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, just take these and start kicking butt. Like, I'm passing them out. Start kicking their butts, because we need y'all help right now to defeat the Void. Now, at first, it does seem like our heroes might win this battle, because with the powers of the Nord Stones on their side, and they're just giving it to the Void, they're throwing every single thing they have to give to the Void. It does seem like at first, the Void might lose to the Avengers. But here's the thing though, guys, as the Void is taking every single blow from the Avengers, he's kind of like, you know what? You guys involved. And that should not happen, which means that you guys got powers from somebody else, which means I smell mischief. Oh, it's Loki, the god of mischief. I cannot pronounce that word, I'm sorry guys. But he's kind of like, okay Loki, this was your doing. This is why the Avengers got stronger, because you gave them the Nord Stones, and that should not happen. So you know what? I'm going to kill you. And so the Void completely kills off Loki. Loki is gone just like that. Bam, no more Loki. And it's kind of like, dude, that's crazy, because now there's no more Loki. So what can they do now? Because Loki is gone And honestly, to me personally, I feel like Loki could give them that edge. But with him gone, it's kind of like, dude, it all comes down to you Avengers. Just you guys going all out with the North Stones and hoping to defeat the Void. Now, guys, you do have Tony Stark contact, I forgot her name, but she is on the helicarrier. And he's kind of like, anybody who's on the helicarrier, get off right now. You have literally 10 seconds. And she's kind of like, what do you mean? Why do we have 10 seconds? He's like, listen, because I'm turning the helicarrier into a missile, and I'm throwing that missile right at the Void. And so right off the bat, you have Tony Stark turn the helicarrier into a missile and fire it straight down right on top of the Void. And guys, let me tell y'all, we get a huge explosion. I mean, a huge explosion. And after everything just gets wiped out, you have the Avengers walk in and they see that the Sentry is back into his base form. And so when the Avengers walk in, all they see is Robert Reynolds. Not the Sentry, not the Void, just Robert Reynolds. Now guys, this is, to me honestly, a huge moment. Because you have Thor walk up to Robert, and you have Robert just cry. He say, please, please, go ahead and kill me. Go ahead and kill me off. Because I know what I did. I saw what I did. Just go ahead and kill me off. My wife is dead. I basically killed a ton of Asgardians. I killed a ton of humans. Just go ahead. Kill me off before the Void comes back. Because if the Void comes back, I'm gone. I'm literally gone. The world is gone. The world is dead. The universe is dead. Go ahead and just kill me off. And so Thor grabs his hammer and he just smashes right into Robert Reynolds, killing Robert right there. And so it's kind of like, okay, that wraps everything up. You have the Avengers get every single member of the Dark Avengers minus Daken. He got away, luckily. But you have the Avengers, the good Avengers, get every single member of Hammer and the Dark Avengers wrapped up. You have Thor carry the body away of Robert Reynolds to take care of his burying and everything, to make sure the Void never comes back. And so he flies away with the body of Robert Reynolds. But this is Brian Michael Bendis saying it's over. It is basically over. Now we do jump over to the White House, because guys, in the past few years of Marvel, at this point right here, you had Nick Fury as leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. You had Tony Stark, leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. But you also had Norman Osborn, leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then turned to Hammer. And so the president is kind of like, listen, we had Nick Fury in charge for years. We had Tony Stark in charge for a couple years. We even had Norman Osborn in charge just for a few months. But it makes sense for us to give the mantle over to you, Steve Rogers, because right now you do not want to be Captain America, but we believe that you'll be a good director of S.H.I.E.L.D. So right now you have control of S.H.I.E.L.D. It is all upon you now. Now guys, real quick, two little side notes. Right after Steve Rogers told the president, yes, I'll take over the mantle of being director of S.H.I.E.L.D., we do see that Thor takes the body of Robert Reynolds and he throws the body right into the sun, and basically the body burns up. Now we, the Marvel fans, know that the Sentry will always come back. There's no way he can die that easily. But for right now, for our heroes, they believe the Sentry is no longer around, that he is gone forever and he is never coming back. But again, we know he'll be back. Now, you do have every single big news channel announced that the superhuman act that basically started Civil War has been thrown out the window, that now heroes are free again and they can do whatever they want. And so you have the Avengers come together to celebrate the fact that they were able to defeat Norman Osborn and basically bring the world back to normal. No more civil war, no more I hate you, I hate you. It's more, we're all friends. We just went through a big moment. Our friend just died, a Sentry, but we're all back here together as friends and not enemies because of civil war. And guys, that really wraps up Siege number 4. That is the end. Now guys, we still have to cover, like I said, Thor number 608 to wrap up his storyline in the Siege event. Also got to cover Dark Avengers number 16, 17, and also wrapped up their tie-in to the Siege event. And we also have to cover a Sentry book that kind of gives us like the funeral for the Siege, the funeral for the Sentry. But anyways guys, I'm out of here. Please hit that like and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books we should cover on this channel, let me know in the comments below. But guys, I'm out of here and I'll see you on the next comic book video. Later guys.